Okay, we're in the parkway in front of the home. This is the water meter. And see that little triangle right in there? That's called a cheater wheel or a cheater paddle. It's a flow indicator. If that's moving, then water's moving. Fresh water is moving towards the house. So if that's moving, go find your leak. If it's someplace that you can't see, then it's someplace you can't see, but you have a leak. Now on the other side of the sidewalk, as it should be, in the yard, this is a lawn sprinkler system check valve. And these are supposed to be serviced once a year. These handles are rusty. You don't have a main shutoff valve. They weren't required when this was built. But you have the isolation valves. These are the bleed valves, and they should have little rubber booties on them. This box should have been excavated so there'd be 3 inches of clearance underneath the valve for service reasons, and lined with gravel. Moving along here, storm doors are beyond the scope of this inspection. And this is what's known as a clue. Foundation repair. We knew there was foundation repair before we got here. When you see these boards around the siding like this, it means the siding has been repaired. This siding, when it's installed, see the difference between the vertical trim board and the horizontal base board? There was wood rot along there. Likely, there was wood rot along there, and they installed that board. Now, when they did that, they removed any weep screed. Homeownership 101, all walls leak, all roofs leak. We want them to shed water faster than they accept it. So, now any water that gets inside this board has no place to go. These are called shrinkage cracks. Some people call them corner pops, call them what you may. They do not reflect a problem with your foundation. Maybe holding up a brick or two, they're aesthetic, but those types of other cracks are different. But these particular cracks on the corner, the span of a hand going in this direction, that's not a foundation issue. Lawn sprinkler heads should not be closer to a structure than 12 inches. A tree shouldn't be closer to a structure than 25 feet. Including that tree there, and that tree right there is probably a big reason for that hole right there. Moving along, one thing I was able to find the meter, but I haven't found, is a main shutoff valve for the house. Not only just for the lawn sprinkler system, but for the house. So, I don't know where that would be, and I have not found yet, located, main cleanouts for the sewer. All the window screens are gone, missing, not in place, not in position. There's some in the garage. I don't know if there's enough. Back to all walls leaking. See these right here? These are called weep holes, and they're supposed to be there. They allow vapor to escape, moisture in some cases. They're supposed to be there. Anytime you have brick over your fenestration, which is French for hole in your wall, I think. But anyway, but there should be a weep hole there. There should be a weep hole there. We're just not getting it. We got a big old hole right over there. Check that out. All right, you don't think mice can get in that? Because they can. You don't think water can get in that? Because it will. That's what'll happen. So landscaping timber, it's not next to the house. It's not going to make the termite report. But really, having rotten wood that close to your house is still not a good idea. Rain gutters are supposed to divert water several feet away from the structure. They're not supposed to just like pile out like that. Your air conditioning condensing unit, that's an old one right there. I gotta tell you, it's not level. Not level. The manufacturer's data plate, and this is called a clue. We've had some foundation repair along here as well. Manufacturer's data plate. I'm gonna get in here in case I can read it on camera. But it's faded. I cannot read it. Some information I was able to pull out about this thing, though. I wasn't able to pull out the size, but it's either manufactured in 2009 or 2006, and it operates on R22. Now, these systems are designed on paper to last 20 years. They could last longer, but statistically, Las Vegas is going to give you betting odds for 14. They last about 14 years here. After 14, this thing's done just about everything it can do. We got some dirty coils up there. It's done just about everything it can do. This system is operating on R22 refrigerant. That's an obsolete refrigerant. Every technician that comes out here, just about every technician that comes out here, is going to try to sell you to update your system. And they're telling you the truth, because this is a 10 SEER unit. If you use an alternative refrigerant, nobody else is going to work on it. But if you do use that, they run 10 to 15% less efficient. Today we're on 14 SEER, and I have a SEER paragraph baked into the report for you. But just adding a unconventional refrigerant is a stopgap, and the efficiency is already pretty low on this guy. It's pretty low. This disconnect box, it should be sealed on 3 sides, as should your electric meter. We'll get there, and this tree should be closer. All right, I got a still image of this, but these are cartridge fuses. I'm gonna try and find out what size they are, because the breaker in the electric service panel, it's too large for this unit. We've got some high soil here where some foundation repair has been going on. There's a little spider jumping around. Some more high soil. That's probably where a pier was. Double pane vinyl frame. This splash box does pretty good. This planter box is a little close, if you ask me. There's a clean out. It's not what I was looking for. It's not what I wanted to report on. But there is a sewer clean out here over on the east side. I still haven't checked the directions, but for this report, for the east side of the structure, master bathroom, there's a clean out. A little bit of crack and movement, some mortar repairs, and some cracks over here. Over here by the soldier bricks, stand up, sailor bricks, float. This is the back faucet. But you got a little carried away. Let me yank you around a little bit. Get another view of the house. Never hurts to see things from a different angle. This is called double work. The water pressure to the house is about 65 psi. It's supposed to be between 40 and 80. Everybody thinks that 70 is about ideal. 65, that's darn good. You got good pressure. Something else I'm not seeing as I'm going back around the house is I'm not seeing any air intake vents for the attic. When we were on the roof, we saw exhaust vents, but we didn't see any air intake vents. Did I turn this thing on already? Now we're back to where we belong. The light fixtures, saved by the bell. These light fixtures like this, they should be sealed to keep moisture from entering the wall. This is the trim board we were talking about earlier. Started on the front porch. So all this is covering up All this is covering up repairs, or maybe there were some repairs, and then they put the rest of it to match. You know, they wanted it to look nice. Can't blame anybody for that. This is the water heater temperature pressure relief valve drain line, and it's not supposed to be farther from the ground than 6 inches, and or closer than 3. And that's an iPhone 6 Plus, and that's that's an iPhone 6 Plus, so that's 6 inches. That's no big deal. No sense in dwelling on it, but I will. This is the patio receptacle outlet. I haven't tested this yet. Some of them I have. And even though it's a GFCI, oh, it did trip something. This doesn't work. Apparently something's controlling it. This is called a condulet. Come on. Operator error. This is called a condulet. And that should be sealed like that. That's the control wires for your lawn sprinkler system. Lawn sprinkler system. A little duplicity here. With that weather sensor right there, it's supposed to be level. It's supposed to be parallel with the ground. That's why it has an adjustable hinge on it. Gates locked. This is the roof that we were on earlier. Now, according to the codes that I'm aware of, at least one door shouldn't require a key to exit. These double cylinder deadbolts would probably be safer if there weren't any double cylinder deadbolts on the residential application, but it is what it is. I have them at home. That's where my car keys go, so I never lose them. This door is swinging closed on its own accord, but not fast enough. It's supposed to have a screen on it so that if there was a fire in here, there's nothing to keep it from walking into the living space into there. We're in the garage. This is the lawn sprinkler control system. It's labeled, has a care and use manual, operating instructions. It's pretty simple to figure out too. But you shouldn't have electric extension cords supplying permanent power to appliances. The overhead door button should not, and I'm vertically challenged, it should not be closer to the floor than 5 feet so that little hands can't come up here. It should have a warning notice. Squash sticker, show a picture of a child in a dire situation. So if you want to put a child in a dire situation, you read the instructions. And the button's illuminated, the staples are insulated. The courtesy light works. It does have a pull handle. You have spring tension notices on the corners of the doors. The manual door lock has not been disabled, so you could lock the door and then you can push the door opener and damage your door. It does have a pull handle on the side of it. It does not have one of those warning stickers. It does not have a caution safety notice posted on the inside of the door, just like it doesn't have one posted over there. And that's the door that does not close on its own accord, so a fire could just walk on in. This is your attic access. We got some shear cracks over here. This is going to be the south wall, I believe. Either that or look at the notes at the bottom of this post and I might make some corrections. I've been guilty of that. Okay, this is electric service panel. It's 200 amps. It's not one of those scary manufacturers, but the air conditioning system is overfused. The neutrals are double lugged. You can double lug grounds, but you can't double lug neutrals, or shouldn't. I guess you can. This is called bundling. That's not acceptable. See the small holes? These are for your circuits. Those are for your circuits. And then the larger holes, that's for L1 and L2. Well, L1 and L2, excuse me, and then your neutral. They don't know where they're coming in, so that's why they have these perforated holes everywhere. But they made other holes for these wires, but some people just find it easier to do that. It's super, super common. I'm not discounting my work, but that's the way it looks at my house. Not that my house is for sale, because it's not. And you shouldn't have to live like me. This is the main neutral, okay, and it should be wrapped with white tape so that any fool would know that that's a neutral. And if somebody doesn't know that's the neutral, they don't belong in this panel. You're supposed to have little rubber covers. And then down here, another circuit was brought in. This circuit was brought in, and they went through one of those small knockouts like I was asking for. But that should have a connector on it. That should have a little metal connector on there so to keep it from rubbing against the cabinet like that. You shouldn't have a gap between the cabinet and the wall wider than 1/8 of an inch. I usually say 1/4 of an inch. You give somebody a shot at it, but that's 1/4 of an inch for sure. So something's been going on over here. We had some repair to this wall. I have no idea. Might want to ask the seller about that. And the ceilings, they all look pretty rough. This is probably why the roof looks so nice. It looks like it's been raining in the garage. Coming along, I tried to do this from the roof, but I guess I have abandonment issues. But this is your gas meter, excuse me. And that pot, the base of it, there's supposed to be 6 inches of clearance between that pot, between the base of that meter and the ground. Moving along, maybe I should look inside of here. We got that high pressure sodium lamp right there. Probably want something a little more energy efficient than that. So it's not really good for residential applications, but I can't find it where it comes in. That might be that circuit over there we were talking about a moment ago. Coming along, we've been doing some tracing. This is where the gas enters the house, most of the house. And then they added a gas range, so that's what that feeder right there goes to the kitchen range. And then this hole right here where the gas enters the house, which I'm going to say for the time being the west side of the house, that should be sealed so that mice and water can't get in there. 3 sides of the electric meter should be sealed. We got some gaps up there, some of these mortar stair-step cracks over here on the west side of the garage. Trees too close, rain gutter too close, soil too high. What's this? This is probably for a kitchen vent fan at one time. If you see anything, let me know. Tell me what you found. There's another clean out over here on the kitchen. Again, a clean out, not a main clean out. Better than nothing. You've got something to work with. Soil's a little high right over there. And over here, we got some really good movement. Look at that. Alright. So there's gaps between the brick and over those soldier bricks. Then you got some stair-step cracks going right down in there. Pretty impressive. Moving on along. Nothing we haven't seen already. Light fixture should be sealed. Light fixture should be sealed to keep water from getting into the wall. That's my truck.